Whether an individual is only in Colorado for a few days or for a while, temporary shelters around Denver are trying to help people who cross the border pool resources to find a more permanent home.
I don't know. I guess I don't think much about it. Just part of the job.
You wouldn't know it watching the show, but one of the only women to run a rodeo across the U.S. is here at the stock show. We'll introduce you to her. The weather forecast is 4 dimensions. It's NOAA's newest project, and they're partnering with an aerospace company here to get it done. The suspect in the Club Q shooting is now facing 315 charges. Prosecutors filed 12 more charges this week, including attempted murder.
The shooter appeared in court today trying to get their preliminary hearing pushed back. They're accused of killing 5 people during that shooting at an LGBTQ club in Colorado Springs back in November. A judge denied the suspect's legal team's request to push back that preliminary hearing again. It is set for February 22nd.
The city of Denver has helped close to 4,200 migrants in the last month. Today, we're getting a look inside one of Denver's rec centers turned shelters, helping house migrants. The recreation centers are only being used by adults that don't have children with them. Several rooms are set aside for sleeping areas. The center's basement has turned into a big inventory room filled with donations. People can go down and request items like coats, boots, and clean clothes, and volunteers pull items that best fit those requirements. There's also a help desk that's coordinating travel for people hoping to reunite with family outside of Denver. Families aren't staying in the rec centers. They're getting moved to hotels to give the kids more space to spread out and to provide the groups with a more secure space.
A grieving mother from Thornton says if it weren't for Snapchat, her son might very well be alive today. She's suing and blaming the app now for her son's fentanyl death. Kimberly Osterman's 18-year-old son Max died 2 years ago after taking a pill he thought was Percocet. It was laced with fentanyl. Kimberly says her son bought that pill from a person he'd connected with on Snapchat. The Ostermans are one of 8 families nationwide who are now suing Snapchat for failing to stop the sale of counterfeit drugs that resulted in their children's deaths.
I would take his phone away, I would delete Snapchat, I'd put it on my phone, I'd change the password. He'd find a way around it. It's their way of communicating. And it's okay if it's a safe platform. It's not a safe platform.
In a written statement, a Snapchat spokesman said they cannot comment on active litigation. Spokesman said they are devastated that counterfeit drugs have taken the lives of so many people, and they're committed to helping fight this national crisis.
Giving you a live look outside this evening. It is clear skies, a gorgeous day across the metro area for your Friday. Not really a whole lot going on in our area this afternoon or for the holiday weekend coming up. Local aerospace company Lockheed Martin is building what they call a digital twin of the Earth and its atmosphere. They hope it will help meteorologists track the weather. It's a computing endeavor that was not possible until the advancement of artificial intelligence. Here's Corey Reppenhagen.
The weather is constantly getting measured. Every second, data comes in from satellites, weather stations, airplanes, weather balloons, and ocean buoys. It's NOAA's job to organize that data into something useful to meteorologists. And that basically looks like this, a bunch of numbers. That works fine, but maybe there's a better way to look at it. NOAA's latest idea is to make the data look more like this, a 3-dimensional model. They've asked Colorado-based aerospace company Lockheed Martin to help make it a reality.
It's going to be kind of a Google Earth looking product, but it's going to have all of these observations coming in at, almost a real-time basis.
Research scientist Lynn Montgomery calls the model a digital twin of the Earth's atmosphere. She says Lockheed Martin will use their advanced artificial intelligence programs to crunch all the data. Then it will get brought to life using a computing framework developed by NVIDIA. It's the same program the filmmaker Pixar uses to transform concepts into stunning 3-dimensional visuals.
But then the 4th dimension is going to be time. So we're going to have this 2-week moving time window where you're able to look back into the past and see those current observations and move over time across the entire globe.
The first 4-dimensional weather model may give us a unique view of the atmosphere, and Lockheed Martin hopes it will help NOAA see into the future.
If you have a current state of the world, then with all of these data sources coming in, then you'll be able to better predict what's going to happen in the future.
Meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen, 9 News.
It's called NOAA Earth Observing Digital Twin. Even with advanced AI, it's going to take some time to complete. They hope to have the first prototype to show off sometime this fall.
Today, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says unless Congress takes action, the U.S. will hit its debt limit next Thursday. She said the Treasury would try to use, quote, extraordinary measures to make sure the country doesn't default on its loans. That includes stopping contributions to federal retirement funds to make minimum payments on those loans. Yellen sent a letter to Congress today asking them to either raise the debt limit or suspend it again for a short time. She said her backup plans can only keep the loans paid until June.
We're learning more about what was in some of those documents found in President Biden's old office and his Delaware home over the last couple of months. NBC News reports at least one of the documents found at Penn Biden Institute office in Washington, D.C. was labeled Top Secret SCI. That is the government's highest level of classification. The president's personal lawyers have now found at least 3 batches of these classified documents in the Biden home in Delaware and that D.C. office. They found the first documents right before the midterm elections, and while they were handed over to the National Archives and Justice Department right away, the public didn't learn about the documents until this week. The White House says they're still cooperating with the investigation, which is now being run by a special counsel.
This morning, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office fined the Trump Organization $1.6 million for tax fraud. That's the sentence after a court convicted the organization of 17 different tax crimes, including conspiracy and falsifying business records. It's the maximum fine allowed under New York law. The Trump Organization's chief financial officer also pleaded guilty to evading taxes last summer. He will spend 5 months in jail.
One of the country's only female rodeo directors is running the show here in Denver. She's taking us through one of the 29 shows she's working on next.
A leopard somehow got out of a zoo in Dallas, and it may have had some help getting out the door.
Sunshine and warm temperatures today are moving out of the way for just a little more snow. Chris is here. He's got your holiday weekend forecast in 10 minutes.